Welcome or welcome back to my channel. My house looks a little different because we're getting ready for D&D, so we kind of move things around. If you've played D&D, Dungeons and Dragons, let me know. Let me know how you like it. I play with my siblings and their partners, and it's fun. We're actually gonna do a skincare routine and chat. We're gonna talk about the books I've read and kind of like what may happen next. I was speaking to Ange, one of the greatest friends. Y'all have heard me talk about Ange. She was actually saying like, do a video for skincare. She's like, I need to see your skincare. And so this is for you. First, I'm going to oil cleanse. So I don't oil cleanse in the morning, but at night I will oil cleanse. And sometimes I won't do it every single night because I don't wear makeup often. But even if you don't wear makeup, you should oil cleanse. But especially on the nights you do wear makeup, oil cleanse, it helps take off the makeup properly. I'm using the Elvira Pore Control Cleansing Oil. It is a Korean skincare. So I'm just going to do that on my dry face and just rub it in like I would any other product. Now you can emulsify it by adding water, but it does not say that for this product to add water. And so therefore I don't. I just use it as is. But anyway, so let's get into the books. So I have read All the Dangerous Things by Stacey Willingham. This is my second book by her. I read her debut novel, which was Flicker in the Dark. Now, All the Dangerous Things follows, why am I blanking on what it's about? Okay, there it is. So it opens up with a mom who is doing a press interview about her missing son. So her son went missing when he was 1 or 2, I forgot. But there was no evidence to show if he was kidnapped, who he was kidnapped by, what happened to him. And so obviously people are thinking that she did it and somehow got away with it. It has been a year since it happened. She was married at the time, but the loss of their child, or well, literal loss, because they don't know what happened to him, kind of tore them apart. There is this host of a podcast, I believe it's a podcast. He reaches out to her and asks if he can tell her story and see if he can find more clues that the police may or may not have missed. I hope her thing isn't too loud in the background. I feel like it is. Let me tell her to turn it down. So he kind of basically investigates what happened to the disappearance of her son. I will say it does touch on a topic which I think is important. It touches on postpartum psychosis. And I'm not giving anything away by saying that, although it doesn't come into play till later. Because I'm not in my bathroom, I'm just gonna use a warm towel to get it off. But it does touch on postpartum psychosis, and I was actually having this conversation the other day about how there is not enough resources for mothers, even though postpartum has been around for a long time, especially postpartum depression. But there's even less information about postpartum psychosis. And so I'm like, it's crazy how it affects, quite a bit of mothers, and there's still not adequate resources for them. And so I thought the book was good. There were elements that I wish maybe were different, but that's not bad. Next step, I'm gonna go in with a foam cleanser. So after you oil cleanse, you foam cleanse. And this one is Neutrogena's Ultra Gentle Daily Cleanser, the formula. So I'm gonna go in with that. I'm gonna wet my face back and foam it in my hands. I would definitely recommend that book. It's by no means a fast-paced thriller. It moves slow, very slow. Well, not very, but it moves slow. It's not fast-paced by any stretch of the imagination, but overall, not bad. I did not guess the plot twist, so there's that. Although I felt like maybe no one would have, because it didn't give any indication that it would be that person, I don't think. I don't know. Anywho, I then read, what did I read? A beach read by Emily Henry. And it's crazy because I read Book Lovers by Emily Henry and I was like, wow, she is witty and I'm gonna read everything she writes. And she's such a good writer. I gave that book 5 stars. Literally 5 stars. And so I was like, yeah. But I'm thinking, y'all, I'm thinking maybe that was just the best book that she had, because every book after that has been like sort of a letdown. Now, Beach Read was not bad. I thought it was good. I just thought it was gonna be better. So we follow a writer who loses her dad, and so she goes back to his house and she is battling grief, and she meets the neighbor who lived next to her dad. So I just went ahead and wiped my face off. But yeah, he's a little bit of a grump, and she finds out he is also an author. And so they come up with a plan to write in each other's genre rather than their own, because he was also experiencing writer's block. And so that is the whole premise, is they are showing each other how they get inspired to write within their genre, because she writes women's fiction with a subplot of romance and he writes literary fiction. So, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't even tell y'all. I am putting on my Medicube Pink Peptide Toner. Okay, so tone your face after. But it was good, wasn't bad. I was just expecting more. I hear so many great things about it and I was like, what am I missing? What am I missing? But not bad. I think it's just the hype. I'm gonna stop reading books that people recommend. I'm just gonna read whatever the hell I want to, which I do, but still, I'm just gonna read it if I see it and I'm like, whatever. So I'm gonna use an essence. This one is Advanced Snail Mucin Power Essence. And so this is sticky stuff. So we're gonna pat it in. And I also read A Banh for 2. That one is by, it's right there looking at me, Trinity Nguyen. The cover is very cute, and the book was very cute as well. It takes place in Vietnam. It's a sapphic romance. It's about Lan, who writes a food blog, but she also has a banh mi stand, and she meets Viv, who is coming to Vietnam to find out more about her mom's family, because her mom is from Vietnam, but they don't live in Vietnam, they live in California, and she is not told much of anything about her family. So she comes there to find out. They kind of help each other out. It was very cute. I mean, I think it's considered, is it a YA? They're college students, so I actually don't know if it's considered a YA or not. I forgot what the author classified it as, but I mean, technically they're young adults. And it read as such, which there's nothing wrong with that. But yeah, like I said, it was very cute. Now, they did have problems because they had to deal with their own familial issues, but overall the book was cute. Like, it wasn't too much going on, not much happening. It's cute. First, we're gonna go in with our retinol serum. This one is by Elbubb Retinol at night, vitamin C during the day. That is what I stand by. Just put a few drops. Now for retinol, if you've never used retinol, you should definitely do it once a week. Go down to twice a week, then maybe 3 times a week, until your skin can stand it, because it can be very drying, therefore damaging to your skin barrier. But overall, it'll help your skin. Anti-aging, plumping, all that good stuff. And yeah, so back to that book. It was cute. Now I know the title was a banh mi for 2, but I didn't realize the amount of times banh mi would be said. They ate other food, but I swear banh mi was like the only thing that they were eating, or so it felt like, because the amount of times we heard banh mi, I was like, oh, okay. But overall, not bad. Now, I am also reading House Rules by Jodi Picoult, and I should finish that soon. I'll do a full review on it when I'm done, but I'm really enjoying that one. The way I'm gonna describe it is, it's about the advocacy for kids with autism or Asperger's, kids who are on the autism spectrum. And so well done so far. Okay, I will say more when I'm done, but right now I'm gonna use my hyaluronic acid serum. Love this stuff. This is it. Every routine I do ever, I switch up my nighttime routine because I still don't do retinol every day. Like, I feel like my skin definitely can handle it, but I don't, because I have other routines that I do that I rotate. But this is always in my nighttime routine, always in my morning routine. So that's what I'm putting on, where you saw me put it here. But I'm gonna put it all over my face as well. I love it. This one is by Good Molecules, and I stand by it. I stand by it. Okay, so now that I've talked about books, life. So I said on TikTok that I am multifaceted, and I mean, we all are. We're people, we're humans. There's so many things about us. We're complex beings, right? And so I was like, I love books, and it's one of my favorite hobbies, one of really my only hobbies. Well, not only, because I love baking, and that is a hobby of mine, but it is the hobby I do the most every day. And so I love talking about it, but it's getting to a point where I'm almost tired of talking about it. I don't like talking about a single book at a time, and so if I read a book and I finish it, I'm not talking about it. I have to wait, I feel like. I guess I don't like talking about it because I'm like, I don't have the eloquent words to describe the books. Like, some people go into an in-depth review about the book, and I could just only tell you how I feel about it. Now, certain books will invoke more emotion or more words depending on how deep the book are, but most books, not most, but a lot of the books I read aren't that deep, you know what I mean? And so, and then lastly, I'm gonna follow up with a moisturizer, whatever moisturizer I'm supposed to put on eye cream. This is the part where I would put on eye cream. I forgot to bring it out here. It is in my room. I'm too lazy to go get it right now. I will put it on later when this video is over. So I'm gonna skip this part. But eye cream, right there. My eye cream is by Sheseido. But this moisturizer is by Minimalist. It is the Marula Oil Moisturizer. And back to the books. So I find that I just don't have the words to make a full-length video about one singular book. And then also, like, those videos just don't do well when it comes to like TikToks or Instagram. And I know people like, you love talking about books, so just talk about it, don't worry about the views. But it's like, it's not just about like the numbers. It's if the views are low on those videos, and I've noticed the pattern every time I do those videos, the views are low, that means nobody wants to see it. So I'm not going to put anything out there that you don't want to see. even if it's for me. Like, I can keep that shit in my head, you know what I mean? Or I can talk to my husband about the books, because I do. And so I don't have to put it on the internet if the internet doesn't want to see it. And so I was like, the videos that does the best are when I recommend a number of books, like thrillers and romances, and honestly the thrillers tend to do better, but those are the videos that do well. And I'm like, I know some people will recommend the same 3-4 books. I don't feel comfortable recommending the same books in every video. It does not matter how much I like it. I will tell you in the comments, and if somebody talks about the book, I will hype the book up. But for me to sit there and do a video about thriller books, I cannot recommend the same 4 or 5 books, which means I have to read a ton of books to recommend, you know, 10 different books every single time, if that makes sense. And so I was like, and then there's more to me than just reading. Like, y'all know I bake, and I do my sister's hair, my mom's hair, my daughter's hair. Like, I do hair, I do it, just about everything. And so I was like, and I love skincare, I love my hair, you know what I mean? I love myself. So I'm like, why should I only talk about books when I'm this whole human being, and books are a small part of that? I mean, it's bigger than the other hobbies, but hobbies are a small part of a big life that I have, you know what I mean? So I want to be more consistent with doing things for me and things that are Sheldina. And so whether that be doing my skin with y'all, doing my hair with y'all, doing whatever outside of books. So I'm still going to do books. I'm still going to talk about books. I'm going to review books. I'm going to recommend books. But you will see other things thrown in there. Now, I know you guys kind of get a bit of my life because I do vlogs and stuff. But for my sit down videos, I usually always make it book content, and that will be different. Now, if that's uncomfortable to you, and if you're not okay with that, then I'm okay with you leaving. And I mean, that sounds mean, but like, I have to be okay with people not liking me or not being here for every part of me, and that's okay. Like, I am well aware that even with our friends, your friends aren't gonna like everything you do, and they may not be interested in hearing about those things that you do. Valid. And so I just want to be honest, so y'all would know that when your girl starts popping up hair tutorials, you're not like, why isn't she talking about books? This is why. Because I'm a human being, and there's more to me than books. And I didn't find it sustainable last year to talk only about books. Like, the content, you know, if I want to get to a point where I'm posting 4 or 5 times a day, I cannot do that with books. Like, I'm sure people can, like, it's doable. I'm not denying that. I can't do it. Like, I would go stir crazy. And so for me, I have to be able to talk about anything I want to talk about whenever I want to talk about it. And so far, I've been having fun on my TikTok doing other videos outside of that. And then I look back at those videos, and then I look back at all the other ones, and I feel like watching myself, I look the most comfortable in all the other videos outside of books, weirdly enough. And I think that's just because I'm talking about me, and I know me. Who better to know me than me? But anyway, that is all for my nighttime skincare routine. I will put the steps in the caption and the products as well. But as always, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I do hope you stay here. But bye.